Well, I learned something. When you record on your phone, you gotta click speak, tap to speak. So I was on mute the whole time, an hour and 16 minutes. But I'm coming back. I'm recording this and I will upload it into Resident Essentials YouTube channel, as well as my Circle of Grace One channel. Today's Clear Blue Radiance, September 11th, 2025. The topic for today is There is one truth. You are the spirit of grace. Now, I'm glad to have the presence of mind to come back and record through my Zoom because I didn't know that I was in a muted format on my phone. You live and you learn. That's something my late mother used to say. So, welcome, Clear Blue Radiance. I am the host of Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I have been a spiritual counselor for over 40 plus years, numerologist for over 50 years, 51 years, in fact, and a meditation teacher for 51 years. So, I enjoy helping people such as yourself gain greater clarity in your life and finding or refashioning your purpose. We have for many years now, through various degrees of metaphysical and spiritual studies, that we are spirit embodied in human form. Many scientists, metaphysical scientists, spiritualists, but guess what? The ancient ancestors, shamans, medicine women, they knew this stuff. It's not something that just, dropped into their brain. They knew this. They passed these teachings on, even to the point of the modern day term, the star seed, the galactic brothers and sisters. They have passed these teachings on, planted these seeds in each and every one of us. Those of us who transition and returned home into the spirit consciousness of the divine mind and the divine heart of one, under the law of one, as they say. Remember this. Remember these teachings. And what is it that we remember? This is the shorter version. We are directly from divine source, divine providence, that which gives us the nature of our true self, the higher self. We are infinite expressions of that one source. That's infinite. This is why you see there's trillions of people on the planet. All of these people are part of this divine source, but everybody makes a choice. We are all spirit, and our spirit has infinite consciousness. We are all spirit, and our spirit has infinite consciousness. Just like trees that have roots embedded deeply into the earth that make up an infinite grid of communication between each other because the roots are entangled. We are doing the same through our heartfelt energies, our thoughts, and our feelings that vibrate within us throughout our physical body, throughout our cells, our bloodstream, our fascia, which is that thin membrane beneath the base of the skin and the top of the muscle, that carries forth that infinite frequency into our auric fields and beyond. This happens all the time. Every creature out here has a fascia. Your dog has one, your cat has one. You got farm animals, you got the elk in the forest, they all have it. They all can sense each other. This is no doubt in our mind that these connections are going on all the time. We are all spirit, and our spirit has what? Infinite consciousness. Everything is interconnected. Most of this interconnected activity, which has been proven through mass groups of people in deep levels of meditation, heart resonance, telepathic communication, and more, and so on. Deepak Chopra, who's been around on the planet a long time, I think when I first saw him many years ago in the 1970s, he was on Oprah, right? Was from India and living here, and I believe in Los Angeles, and talking about the interconnectedness of life. And he talked about meditation. And he's still, I don't think he's done it this year or last year, but he used to do a Guinness Book of World Records where he would have people around the world meditating for peace, harmonic peace. And they would record that they had as many as 1 million people meditating. This is important to be able to go into deep levels of meditation, to go within the heart and resonate that energy out into the world, to have that telepathic communication that can be constant and so much more. We could feel everything, see everything, and be influenced by everything. We have discovered that the element of water is influenced by our thoughts and intentions, be it positive or negative, and the water holds consciousness in the form of sacred geometric shapes, some asymmetrical, some symmetrical. When a sacred shape, sacred geometrical shape is asymmetrical, that is because the water received a negative intention, a word that did not send forth love to it, but created a problem. So when that problem was created, that problem was experienced by water, water having living consciousness in its molecular atomic structure, gave out an asymmetrical, an imbalanced image, a fuzzy image, not a perfect image. But when that water, through its consciousness, received a positive intention and feeling, like love, grace, beauty, harmony, peace, joy, happiness, compassion, and everything else that's positive, they could take a drop of water and put it on a microscopic glass, look through the microscope, and they would see the sacred images for each one of those words clearly formed, properly formed, symmetrical, well balanced. And this was done and recorded in a book called Hidden Messages of Water. Hidden Messages of Water by a Japanese fellow named Isaru Moto. Esaru, Isaru Moto, Moto. That's when he talked about, look, water is not asleep. Water is alive. Every living being on the earth is alive with consciousness. It knows, it understands each other, it knows you, it knows me. That same can be demonstrated with plants. And earlier today, on Facebook, as I was giving these notes out, uh, there's one truth, you are the spirit of grace. Today's date is September 11th, 2025. And this is for the Circle Grace One's Clear Blue Radiance. So when I was about 28 years of age, I worked as a janitor at a depilatory cream place. That means they made skincare products, they made facial creams, they made hair products so that people can stylize their hair. Thing is, you could smell all that stuff. Sometimes it was intense. Sometimes people that worked in that part had to wear a mask. Behind it in the warehouse was a glue factory. In the glue factory, they made glue. And the glue is made the same way, folks. And we see Elmer glue as a label, but it was manufactured right out there on Long Island in what they call Carl Place, Long Island. Amazing. Seeing it, how this stuff was made. And I worked as a janitor, so I had to wear a mask too sometimes. I had to clean the bathroom. I had to wear gloves. I had to sweep up the back, sweep up the whole place, flatten out boxes and stuff, help pack boxes, help unload a truck or load a truck. A lot of work. But one day, the manager, his name was Henry, and Henry said, we got these two flower bed pots out here. They were about 3 feet, a little over 3 feet, encased by brick, and in there was dirt. Not just on the surface, dirt all the way down to the asphalt part. And he said, we need to beautify this place. You can use your car or my car. I'm going to give you some money, and I want you to buy some seeds to grow flowers. Well, I didn't know anything about growing. I didn't think I had a green thumb, but I did it. And this is the vision that I got when I went to the something similar to a Home Depot, a nursery where I could see flowers. I said, oh, you know what? I'm not going to grow one kind of flower. I'm going to put 12 on one side and 12 on the other. That's 24. Fortunate for me, I got them on sale. The seed bag, the flower seed bags. I got 24 different ones. And I would sit outside and I would put them in the flower beds and I would look which flower would go where. And eventually get a little stick, a little something, and poke holes about 4 inches deep. 4 inches deep, I would put a different seed in each one. I would draw a piece of paper in the grid so I know where each plant was in each flower pot. 12 on one side, 12 on the other, and they were all different. I had pansies, I had tulips, I had a yellow rose, I had a pink rose. Now I didn't try to have three of each, one of each, see, growing. And at some point, I was about 20, 28 years of age. So this is about 1980 when I was doing this for this place, each side of the main entrance. 12 flowers on distinctly different, not the same, 12 different flowers. I would take the seeds and hold them in my hand. And I was into meditation still, so I would be praying. Now, here, I learned meditation when I was in college, in the middle of my freshman year, which is the 1971. So here I am, 1971, and here I'm at this place, 1980. So what is that? 9 years later, I'm praying with the seeds in my hand, the packets of seeds, then taking the seeds out and planting them about 4 inches deep, 2 to 4 inches deep, into a nice size hole, and then covering the holes up and putting like a graph so I could see it, like a schematic design, of where each one, which flowers on the right, which are on the left, and the names. And then eventually, as time went on, 2 weeks or so, watering and checking them, I began to do what? Watering these plants, checking these plants. I would sit out there sometimes during a morning break or afternoon break, and I got this vibration that came over me. I noticed that I could feel them. So I began to send them loving thoughts to all 24 plants, flowers. I gave them all different names. I have one called Bud. That was his name, Bud. I didn't know it was male or female. I just, hey, your name is Bud. My nickname was Buster. I gave one Buster. I had all kinds of names. Eventually, I could write their names down. And then I noticed when I would sit out there sometimes, they would kind of be leaning in my direction because I was radiating a lot of energy. I did Tai Chi and stuff like that. So I was out there. Not Tai Chi on the premises, but when I would get back home, I think about the plants. sending them unconditional love, calling them by name. One day we knew that there was an approaching storm coming from one Friday night, all day Saturday, rain and thunder and whatever else that was going to happen, and wouldn't let up until early Sunday afternoon. So I got out there with the plants, cut my hands around from the base all the way up to the flowers and then up to the flower itself, the flower head, and I would pray to each one of those plants by name, sending unconditional love into those plants by name from my heart, mindset and heart set, embracing all of them, and then stepping back and doing all 24 of my hands, palms facing them. During that time, the early weeks when these plants were beginning to grow, I attracted a mud wasp. He was furrowing through, didn't bite me, didn't sting me. He would just touch my hand and walk over my hand like my hand wasn't there. And if I move my hand too abruptly, boom, turn around like, hey, I thought you were stumped. The mud wasp in one of those flower beds. So I kind of felt he could have been the guardian, not letting any other bee get over there. Well, when that storm hit, now we left out of there by 4:30. When that storm hit, 4:30 in the afternoon, when that storm hit and it rained through the night and all day Saturday, let up a little bit, but kept coming down. And then finally let up around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 on that Sunday. When I drove back to work Monday, not one petal had fallen off. Amazing. Not one petal had fallen off. Those seeds and flowers and I had a special connection. And that's when I realized that every living thing has consciousness. Every living thing can hear and feel your thoughts and your feelings and your intentions. The spirit of grace as divine grace exists in all living beings everywhere. That means trees, ants, bees, birds, snakes out here, coyote, what else? Bison, everything. Yeah. Feeling everything. And as I felt everything, I felt connected to all things. The spirit of grace is everywhere. The spirit as grace, as divine grace, it exists in all living things everywhere. And people who choose to radiate it can. And then there's those who choose not to do so. However, when you radiate grace with good positive intentions, you see the results immediately. And that's what was happening with those plants. Over a 2-3 week stretch, I was connecting, I was communicating through divine grace, the spirit of divine grace, with all 24 plants. See, the more you do this, the more you become aligned, attuned, and in tune with the spirit of grace. And guess what? You were born into this world. You came here, you brought it with you. Everybody did. Even the ones that we may not think are positive, they brought it too. And we live across different timelines anyway, not just Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time zone, and Greenwich Mean Time. Not just that, but throughout the world. Wherever we find ourselves, the spirit of divine grace is right with us. Throughout life, there will be obstacles to overcome. all the time. And sometimes we give ourselves the obstacles, and sometimes others give them to us. And then there's certain conditions and things we don't have control over, obstacles. All of them are flowing from thoughts and intentions, though. That means there's people out here setting vibrations up all the time. We must decide which ones to entertain, which ones to put our attention to, which ones we're going to hold on to, which ones we're going to live with, which ones are we going to discard. So I say pick the ones that are truly beneficial to you and not harmful. Pick the ones that are beneficial to others and not harmful. Or you're going to wind up doing like a boxing referee tells two boxers, protect yourself at all times. You can protect yourself with unconditional love and grace. You can protect yourself with beauty, harmony, and peace. You can protect yourself with the higher forces. And once you attune and align to it, you're not going backwards. You're calling it forward for yourself. We are in the mindset and the heart set of the spirit of grace at all times. We must draw on it and pull it up from within our being. It is always embedded in our heart. And in big capital letters in my notes, I wrote tag. We are the spirit of grace and it is alive within us. Tag, we are the spirit of grace and it is alive within us. We are born with it. We brought it here with us. And when we leave, it's going to go with us. You must use it, though. Don't let it become idle. We have to encircle ourselves in the spirit of grace. That's how we can have the divine protection that we need. Sometimes I sit in meditation. I don't know what's going on from moment to moment outside my apartment, outside the premises. But this is what I do know. I can fast forward in my mind and I put forth the energy where I see calmness at all times. Because we know there's a lot of stuff that's starting to happen and it's been continuous. This is the 24th anniversary of the Twin Towers being struck by two airplanes in New York City. Yesterday, something happened. I'm not cheering one way or the other. I just know that we have to hold peace for all of us. And we must protect ourselves and our loved ones at all times, whatever means that is. Not everybody has a gun or a rifle. Not everybody's got a bow and arrow or grenades, but some of us have divine spirit, higher consciousness, higher divinity energy built in us, and we have to put it into motion. My late mother used to say, Francis, you got to pray every day, incessantly. Pray every day. Yeah, I got to visualize peace in this community every day, every night. Don't see any craziness popping up when I'm in the street and when I'm indoors. Just have to watch out. So here's a creative pathwork meditation, spirit of grace meditation. I want you to find a place where you can be comfortable, be seated, and relaxed. I want you to start breathing deeply. And as you do this, I want you to focus on the center of your sternum. As you focus on the center of the sternum, behind the center of the sternum is your physical heart, and between the two and wrapping around it is the spiritual heart center, the heart chakra energy. It's not just in front of you, it's on the sides and behind you as well. And if you give off a lot of heart-centered energy all the time, it'll be bigger than your brain energetically. So as you do this, I want you to affirm the following. And I'll go read them as slow as possible. I affirm that all generations of my ancestors surround me 24/7. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I affirm that all generations of my ancestors surround me 24/7. I affirm here and now that I am the spirit of grace and it dwells in me. I affirm here and now I am the spirit of grace and it dwells in me. Another one. I affirm here and now I am the strength of grace. I have the mindful presence of divine grace residing in me. My mind, body, and heart matrix vibrates and radiates grace 360 degrees above me and below me, 360 degrees to the right of me and to the left. So that means it's parallel to the ground, and that's horizontal, right? And then it's vertical, like your spine running through your body. So 360 times 360 is 720 degrees of light, of energy, of the strength and the peace and the harmony and the spirit of grace as divine grace. And it's radiating out and into the heart center, out and into the heart center. I have infinite consciousness, not just higher consciousness. I have infinite consciousness of divine grace. This is important. So we can't just believe it. We have to sow the seed inside of us. We have to envision it. We got to get joyful about it. And we got to remind ourselves that all who are in touch with us will benefit from it, will receive what? The spirit of divine grace. Because that is the one truth. Use it daily, especially when you are preparing for sleep at night or you're awakening from sleep. Remember this one infinite truth and embrace and embody it. You are the spirit of grace expressed as your higher self. You are the spirit of grace expressed as your higher self. Thanks for joining me today. Clear Blue Radiance here through Circle of Grace 1, September 11, 2025. Our topic was, there is one truth. You are the spirit of grace. And I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I founded the Circle of Grace 1. I established it on July 2nd, 1974, and further made it and expanded it into the public's eye on July 2nd, 1999, both regions on Long Island, New York. And now here, I've been living here. I've been in Jersey from, what was that time? 2004, 2005 in Jersey, all the way until 2011. By November 2011, I was out of New Jersey, here. So I've been here now a long time. Been here 14 years. So if you're here in Albuquerque or near Albuquerque, come on out on Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for just $10 and experience my creative pathwork meditations. That is held at Resident Essentials Esoteric School of Metaphysics, 2703. All in that area is the Broadbent Parkway complex area. and the building numbers are at the top. You just drive until you see the number 2703, pull in there, and you'll see various vehicles parked. And when you pull in, walk to your right. And as you walk to your right, you'll see the letter J written on in white right by the door. And that is our location. 11:30 to 12:30 for just $10. Every class. I'm right there. And we usually have a small turnout, anywhere from 2, 3, 4, up to 6 or 8 people. We have plenty of chairs. We can make room. 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Right there at 2703 Broadbent Parkway, Northeast, Suite J, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87107. And this Sunday is the second Sunday of the month. We have a psychic and healing fair that takes place from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., same exact location. Resident Essentials, Esoteric School of Metaphysics, same address, 2703 Suite J. So 2703 Broadbent Parkway. It's an industrial complex, but there's many things there. A couple of churches in there, but we're in there too. We're in building 2703, and you just walk down and you see the letter J and walk in. We're going to be there from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. this Sunday with a psychic and healing fair. So wherever you see the vendors sitting outside underneath the booth tent spots, that's us. They're working with us. Sometimes we have jewelers out there. We have a guy by the name of David Glick. He makes some phenomenal silver jewelry. He's there usually. We have different young people be out there selling their gemstone jewelry and earrings, and we have other people selling gemstones, big size, all kind of gemstones. Sometimes there's a food vendor out there. But hey, come on inside from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, the last reading, if you want a half-hour reading or 20-minute reading, the last reading will be at 4:30 p.m. I do what is called celestial I am drawings, and they take about 35 to 40 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, because not only am I drawing with beautiful colored pencils, your auric field, but I'm putting in the various symbols and things that I see or hear that's in your auric field. Plus, you get a reading all at the same time. And when I'm done, I put your eyes and your nose and your mouth in there, boom, and I'm done. Sometimes people don't even get to see that because their guides may show up. Something in the higher show will filter down and show a part of itself to me, and I put it in. So you need to be there, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, what is that celestial I am drawing? It only costs $60, and it's free admission for everybody. I also do the angle of grace, which is degrees of grace reading. That's $30 for 20 minutes. And a mini numerology reading, $30 for 20 minutes. There's a whole lot of people there. Usually we have a woman by the name of Barbara Fox. She does tarot card readings. We have Ida Berkey, she does oracle card readings. We have another gemstone reader in there by the name of Liliana Rondon. We've got a healer by the name of Vladimir Turek. Sometimes he will be there. Big tall fella, usually sitting between myself and Liliana Rondon. Okay. We also have Dr. Andrew Moser, young, interesting fellow. He's a doctor of Oriental medicine, and he does acupuncture, and he puts the little needles in your ear, and he sells teas for. I bought one from him for high blood pressure, and I don't even think I have it. I bought it anyway. So he has a lot of things there. We have a guy there by the name of Peter, and Peter, I call him the chocolate vendor. He has these little lint chocolate balls. But anyway, I believe he does a little bit of astrology. He does tarot card readings, and he's a palm reader. So you ought to get in there and get together with him. And then also, we have Michelle Vidal. Yay, Michelle. And Michelle, she's the one who came up with the concept of resident essentials. um, way back in 2015, 2018, when she officially opened on Manoa Boulevard, over there by the IHOP, and then she got to Eubank Boulevard. Yes, Eubank Boulevard, just north of Candelaria. She was there for a while, and then we moved from there to a friend's location, which is the Yamaye Center on Candelaria. And here we are today, folks. Actually, we was on Comanche. Yeah, we were on Comanche at that location. And then we were there for about just a month or so. We've been at our new location, 2703 Broadbent Parkway Northeast, Suite J, for a little over a year now, almost a year and a half. We moved in last year on April. So you need Michelle will be there. She's a medium. She also teaches many of the classes in there as well. She has an array of classes, and she wrote a book called Mastering Metaphysics. Beautiful, beautiful, well-written book. And she reads with tarot cards, and she's a mediumship style reader. So she can pick up on people right away around you. Get in there, folks. Get to meet her. Oh, we also have a woman by the name of April. I forget April's last name. She's a healer. And then Vladimir Turek, he's a healer as well. So you need to meet all of us, get together with all of us. Um, there's a woman, I think her name is Claudia or Andrea. She'll be in there. And it might be a woman by the name of Lisa who reads the minds of your pets. If you have a pet to bring in, make sure you call ahead of time. What you need to do is go to www go to www.resonantessentials, resonantessentials.com. When you go to the website and you click on that link and you go to the website, a calendar page opens up and it tells you all the events that are going on, nighttime, daytime, Saturdays, Sundays. It gives you all that information. If you click on where it says practitioners, it shows you every practitioner that's working through there or works remotely connected to Resonant Essentials Esoteric School of Metaphysics. Also, click on preferred business partners. I'm one of them. And there's a woman by the name of Barbara Portsling. Her spiritual name now is Bayla, Bayla Portsling. And her and Michelle once a month do a spiritual business hub right there at the center on Saturdays, I believe from like 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. all the way up to about 11. So you need to get in there, get to meet everybody as much as possible. I don't know if Bayla is going to be in there on Sunday. Sometimes she comes in and she participates too. I'm done. My grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing. And this psychic fair is this Sunday, September the 14th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Meditation is Saturday, September the 13th, from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Only costs you $10. And that's with me, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. My grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Ta-da! And I'm going to upload this to my Circle Grace One YouTube page and Resident Essentials YouTube page as well. And I did one before, the same topic. It's on my Facebook profile page, personal page, which is, Facebook/ Circle of Grace with the number one. And you'll get in there and see it. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. See you real soon.